Ramayana is a manual, a step-by-step process which opens the gates of divine consciousness inside us. Just by listening to the story of Lord Sri Ram, we attain the highest level of existence. In Gita, Lord Krishna says that in whatever form his devotee seeks him, he manifests in the same form for them. Bhakti is impossible for the people with a rigid and stubborn mind. And sadly, most of us are like this. Jai Sri Ram, Sai Ram. No matter how hard we try to accumulate securities, wealth, power, and relationships, we are just not able to fulfill our expectations. And this is the cause of our anger and frustrations. Only by understanding the ways of life and by surrendering in the lotus feet of Sri Ram can we extinguish this fire of suffering and lead a peaceful and happy life. What we are looking for is already there. Ramayana is a manual, a step-by-step process which opens the gates of divine consciousness inside us. Just by listening to the story of Lord Sri Ram, we attain the highest level of existence. Yes, it is as simple as this. And my heartiest congratulations to you for investing in the Bhakti of Sri Ram. Sai Ram. You know, that day King Janaka had a unique experience of seeing Lord Ram for the first time. Tulsidas ji has described the overwhelmed state of Janaka in great detail. Now, why this meeting is very significant in terms of spirituality, and what is the idea behind Darshan of Lord Ram? King Janaka was an exceptionally wise person. He was titled Vidya Raj and Raj Rishi as an honor for his knowledge and enlightened state. Rarely any king in the history of Sanatan Dharma had the credentials to attain such position. Janaka had realized that human being is not the body nor the mind. Instead, they are the Atma, that is the manifestation of the supreme consciousness. And consciousness is Nirgun, that is, it has no form, no attribute, Nirgun Nirakar. Now, despite having a clear understanding of this truth about the self, about the Atman, the ultimate bliss was missing from his life. And only after darshan of Shri Ram was he able to fill this void. He was swayed away by the human avatar of Lord Ram, the physical, human manifestation of the Supreme God. The form, aura, idol, picture, and essence of Lord Ram is infinitely charismatic. Darshan of Ram shatters the rigid belief system which torments the human beings. Loving a form of the Supreme is the unique quality of a Bhakt or devotee like Hanuman. And that day enlightened Janaka realized that even the highest knowledge of enlightenment is not sufficient. Say Ram. Then what was it that completes a human being? This was the first time Janaka felt the divine joy of Bhakti. Those who emphasize on logic and reasoning can know the universal truth, but only those who unconditionally love Lord Ram can attain the supreme bliss. That meeting on the outskirts of Mithila shook the belief system of Janaka and opened his heart for the nectar of Bhakti. A seeker must know that questioning will give answers, but not the ultimate satisfaction. Treading the path of knowledge without devotion can give intellectual superiority, but it will just generate a sense of pride and will entrap the seeker in ego. And ego is the most significant obstruction in reaching your final destination of evolution. Say Ram. But the citizens of Janakpur were also immensely eager to have darshan of Lord Ram, who had slayed Taraka and liberated Ahilya. They too, like their king Janaka, were overwhelmed after seeing Lord Ram and Lakshman. They formed a connection with Ram that very instant. Now these simple-hearted citizens were not enlightened like their king Janaka. They just relished the beauty of Prince Ram without indulging in the hows and whys. Darshan of divinity is such that it makes people forget themselves, let alone their desires and fears. Their sole wish remains to be in the company of their Lord. This is Prema Bhakti or love devotion, where the Bhakt forms a relationship with the Supreme Entity. In Gita, Lord Krishna says that in whatever form his devotee seeks him, he manifests in the same form for them. Bhakti is impossible for the people with a rigid and stubborn mind. And sadly, most of us are like this. And that is why there is so much frustration, suffering, and dissatisfaction in the pretext of my set of beliefs and your set of beliefs. We all have a set of preconceived notions about life. Anything other than that, no matter how beautiful, doesn't fit in our parameters. But a bhakt remains indifferent towards the beliefs, opinions, and perspectives. He only cares to be with his Lord, because he knows that only the Lord can ensure his well-being. Many believe that Lord Ram took a human avatar to destroy Ravan, but the truth is he had come for the joy of his devotees. Say Ram. Everyone is bestowed with a certain degree of intelligence to contemplate on their thoughts, mind, and action. While dealing with worldly affairs, we always maintain a clever approach of if not this, then that. We cannot let go of this cleverness even when we are worshipping in a temple to God. The element of conditionality in spirituality spoils the effort, and one needs to surrender unconditionally to the Lord. Shri Ramcharitmanas is the saga of Lord Ram and Janak-Nandini Sita that epitomizes purity and is a treasure trove of eternal learning and wisdom. I have enough of loss, enough of gain. I have my love. What more do I obtain? Say Ram.